Okay, and then damages to the residue, like we talked about, is the other main category. You got compensation and damages. So I don't have a lot more to say about damages other than I do want to hit on what are known as general benefits and special benefits. So the law provides that a general benefit, which is defined as one that accrues to the benefit of the property itself, but also to the neighborhood or the area or the public at large, those benefits are not recoverable. They're not compensable. You can't be compensated based on those. Special benefits can be considered in the compensation calculation. So if there's a value to the property that's really unique to that property and is not shared by the public at large. And the example in this slide is if the construction of a railroad ends up draining a swamp that's on this property only, that is a benefit that can be considered by the jury when they're assessing damages. And then the other issue I wanted to hit on, and as far as damages is concerned, is like I said before, the general rule is you do the before appraisal, you do the after appraisal, whatever it comes out saying that the residue is worth less, the extent of the reduction in value in the after, that's usually your damages. There is an alternative calculation which will apply when it's less than what the property owner would otherwise be entitled to recover. And that's called the cost to cure. So the example I like to give of a cure is if you have a property where you have a store with a parking lot, and there's a taking that impacts parking, and there's a loss of parking, but the property or the parking lot could be restriped in a different way to get you those parking spots back without disrupting the flow of traffic on the property. Well, then you're only going to be entitled as the property owner to the lesser amount, the cost to cure, rather than the reduction in the fair market value of the residue after the taking. And there's another concept which is circuity of access, and there's two types. There's external and internal. So external is outside of the property, internal is within the footprint of the property itself. Sort of going hand in glove with the concept that a property owner cannot be compensated for impacts that are shared in common with the general public. External circuity falls into that category. So if you had a property that used to be 100-foot drive from the main road, at an intersection, it was a really good property, a lot of traffic went through there, but because of a road project, the road that used to access your property or the side street was cut off, and now you have to go a mile out of your way to get back from that main road to your property. That's going to be considered non-compensable. It's not considered a taking or something that can be considered by the jury in an eminent domain case. Now, the other kind, internal, has to do with if you have two or more access points on a property and a project results in the elimination of one of those access points, you now have, if you then have difficulty with the internal traffic flow on the property as a result of that loss of the drive, well, then you have internal circuity of travel, which is compensable. And the leading example is from right here in Franklin County, the Hilliard versus First Industrial case, where there was a loading dock on the property that had an internal road that went out to a particular driveway on the road and on the public road. And that access point was eliminated, and it resulted in you're not able to access the loading dock anymore. And the court said, yeah, that's a significant internal circuity issue that is compensable. But that's not what it's confined to. Really, it can be any property where you have traffic going in and out of multiple entrances, and one of them is closed without a replacement entrance being constructed, which is actually a very common scenario. One of the things that ODOT loves to do is access management when it's doing road projects. And sometimes they'll even do road projects that are solely for the purpose of access management. If you have a lot of drives on a particular roadway, and the pace of development is picked up, and the engineers say it's not safe on this heavily trafficked road to have so many drives anymore, they'll routinely come through and close drives without, creating new ones on these properties. So you get into these internal circuity issues pretty regularly.